My guest today is Rajiv Mittal, who is the chairman and managing director at VA Tech Wabag, one of the leading companies in water and wastewater treatment segment. Mrs. Mittal, thank you very much for joining us on Deep Dive. Uh, Sir, it's an unusual sector. It's not the normal infrastructure, but one of the most essential one for any economy, because water recycling or circular economy is what now everyone is moving towards. Give us a sense of where we stand today and the kind of opportunity that you see.
Thank you, Sajid, for having me on your show. And hello to all your viewers. I think you introduced water sector. I think in future, I'm sure we will all introduce water sector as the most promising sector, as the most essential sector, because water has never been so important in the past 2 decades as it is today. So the importance of water in the present circumstances has seen a tremendous improvement, whether it is for human consumption, whether it is for industrial, whether it is to maintain the environment, or be as one of the resources required for industrial growth and sustainability. Plus, the recent war in Gulf area has given a lot of importance to water. Is not only to meet the present demand, but also to have a spare or a buffer capacity in case of emergency. So that makes water very, very important. Plus, you can see this is definitely a priority sector driven by the climate change, urbanization, industrialization. This is all making a big difference to the water sector. And that is what water is today. If you see, there is almost next 5 to 7 years, if you see the growth story of Wabag, it is all going to depend on the demand, which we can even see and identify today. Almost $75 billion we see in the conventional water sector, which we need to invest in next 5 to 7 years. And then if you see the split between the EPC and O&M, almost 20% will be invested in operation and maintenance, which is one of the verticals of Wabag, and that we will continue to do. Thus, there's an industrial growth, and we have to ensure that industry gets a viable, reliable, and affordable water supply to maintain their growth and maintain their production without any disruption. So the economic growth of each country will be dependent on availability of water for this GDP growth. So I think this is not only in India, but if you see Middle East, Southeast Asia, Wabag is present in most of the developing economies, or you call it emerging economies. The situation is same. Whether it's Asia, Africa, Middle East, we see same trend. So I must say opportunities are immense. We are very bullish about it. And Wabag as a company is well positioned to take advantage of this. Maybe a wastewater treatment plant, a surface water treatment plant, a desalination plant, or for that matter, even a reuse of used water plant. So I see the importance of water, and everybody will talk about water with a lot of respect and a lot of concern, and we will see a lot of investment going into water in the next 1 decade.
You know, it's no longer a municipal story. It's about how you're going to have a circular economy with respect to water, given the fact, like for India, fresh water is just 4% of the total availability, and we cater to nearly 16% of the global population in that sense. How do you look at the entire this circular economy, and where is the value creation that comes in that economy?
I think circular economy is no longer a choice, Sajid. Today, it's a must. Everybody is talking about circular economy, sustainability, clean and green environment. In this situation, no longer we can continue to just extracting water from a surface water, from our groundwater, or keep discharging our used or wastewater from industries and from domestic users to nalas and surface water and polluting them, which is what we have done over the ages. Today, there's a realization that we have to not only protect the environment, but we also have to conserve this precious resource called water. So naturally, when you talk about circular economy or you talk about net zero of water or water positive, net zero power, this is all coming from the idea of circular economy or reducing the greenhouse gases. And that's exactly where Wabag is positioned and working on it. Today, if you see what is happening, Wabag is into a field where we said, and this we said 20 years back, Sajid, that we have to focus on converting waste to wealth. As you given in your introduction, water was not valued. People didn't talk about it, didn't know about this sector and the potential of this sector. But today, everybody's talking about it because to no longer it's just a waste you can discharge. There's a huge implication if you discharge a waste and NGT comes to know, you can be paying fines in terms of hundreds and uh, or few hundred crores of rupees. So the implications are huge. So what is the option? Option is to treat the waste to meet the discharge standard. When you're treating the waste to meet the discharge standard, why don't you add additional step of tertiary treatment and reuse that water? By reusing, what are you doing? You're increasing the viability of your plant or industry, what you have. You are getting a sustainable water resource, additional water, which was not available to you. And this gives you reliability in your operation. You don't have to shut down your plant during the summer months when the local municipal authority says, no, we are short of water and we are going to give it to the industry. We are not going to give it to the industry, we'll give it to the domestic users. There's always going to be more pressure on domestic users' requirement rather than on industry requirement. And we have seen in the past, a lot of industries have gone into red because for a few months they had to shut the plant because of this. Now, if you reuse water, this problem is gone. Because what are you reusing? Reusing a resource or a raw material, which is called used water. They have no drought. They are available 365 days, 24 by 365 days. And if that is available, your industry will get a reliable, affordable, and sustainable water resources. That's number one. Number two, you're not discharging the wastewater to the environment. So you're protecting the environment. And also from an economic reason, no pollution control board or NGT can come and put a fine on you. And third, this is going to improve your GDP. If industry is assured of reliable water at an affordable price, just imagine how the industrial growth will take place. So this point of view, we are very clear, circular economy is a must, it's no longer a choice.
There are new water opportunities which are emerging, not just treatment of water, but going into ultra pure water. You have compressed biogas now, which has started. You have started a unit on that as well, if I'm not wrong. Industries like solar PV and data centers and green hydrogens also require abundant quantity of water.
Correct.
What is the can you give us a sense of the value creation that happens at this level and the value add that is required?
Absolutely, Sajid. Very good question and very relevant for being future ready. See, Wabag, as you know, is a technology company. We have more than 125 patents and trademarks, which we use only for our captive purposes, and we have been very successful in that. And we continue to invest in R&D so that we are up to date with the required technologies for the future market aspect point of view. Now, these sectors which you named a few, the PV solar cells was not a market few years back. Recently, India decided and gave license to make PV cells. And the moment you make PV cells, you need ultra pure water. The moment you go to semiconductor, because this was a big damage to all the countries who were dependent on China during COVID, somehow the supply of these chips was disrupted and the whole operation of those industries which were dependent on these chips got disrupted. So I think almost all countries, not only the developing countries, but the developed countries also decided to put their own capacities. And that is what has shifted in last 5 years to see a lot of investment going in manufacturing of semiconductor. And obviously they need lot of water, and this water is ultra pure water, and that is where we as a technology company come in to produce ultra pure water and take these orders. The third thing, you can talk about AI, data centers. This is also emerging industry, and when we look at all these data centers, they also gulp water because of air conditioning requirement. They need a lot of water. This time may not be a ultra pure water. They definitely need a clean water, but in large quantity. That is a new area we see it is happening. Of course, another area which is emerging very fast is our green hydrogen. Today, economically may not be viable, but as the scale goes up, this also product will be economically viable, and we need a good quality, may not be ultra pure, but at least a demineralized water where the salt quantities have substantially reduced for hydrogen production. Last, you talked about CBG. There cannot be an appropriate time as it is today to develop your own resources, and as our honorable prime minister says, be atmanirbhar. Don't only depend on this gas which is for cooking or for automobile fuel, for importing this fuel. And we know what happened. Now even our LPG at home is short supply, and lot of sites are suffering because there's not enough gas available. Now, if we start converting our organic residues, whether it is from sewage, wastewater, even our cow dung, even our agriculture residues, which is polluting our capital every year during the winter months, all that can be put through gasification plant, generate biogas, clean it, and have it available for fuel as domestic cooking fuel or for automobile fuel. And that is what the government of India has come up with a scheme called Satat scheme or Govardhan. This is all about creating wealth again from gobar, say, from industrial residues, from agriculture waste. And that is what is very attractive. Government is encouraging industries to put more of these CBG plants so that India's dependence on importation of gas at least reduces, if not eliminated.
the kind of investments which are coming in, it runs into billions of dollars, and these investments are also now backed by sovereign funds. You have multilateral agencies like a World Bank or an ADB doing it, and over and above that, government schemes are there. Government is also spending billions of dollars there. How do you look at these investments and the kind of backing now which is coming into this water economy?
It's never been more attractive than it is today, Sajid. Very, very clear that without government supports, nothing can happen. I'm not talking about subsidy, but at least the government should make their strategy clear that this is what they expect from corporate world or from industrial world, and we are all here to support. We have already invested our money to convert a biogas from a sewage treatment plant to CBG, which will be pumped again to a IOCL gas line or to a GAIL pass gas line. And this is our contribution. Yes, it's a drop in the ocean, but this every drop will make a big ocean. And I hope that many will follow this and we will see a lot of investment. As you rightly said, it's not only our government in India, but internationally, many governments, including the multilateral agencies like World Bank, JICA, they are all supporting because this is a social initiative. And this is where the multilateral comes. Any social initiative, they will support with funding. And I see a bright future for this sector.
How do you look at the some of the key markets which are very active, right? Middle East, India, Southeast Asia, Africa. Are these emerging markets for you as a company?
Absolutely. No, without doubt. We are only interested and present in these emerging markets which you talked about, whether it's Southeast Asia, South Asia, India, Middle East, Africa, CIS countries. These are all emerging markets. Why they are interesting for us? In these markets, not even 30% of the wastewater is treated even today. Not even half of the population is getting safe drinking water. The industries are hesitant to invest money because they are not sure about reliable and affordable water availability. Once we take care of these things, I think the economy will grow. And that is where our market comes in. Now, if you see India itself is having a lot of schemes which are, of course, supported by the government, like you call the Amrut 2, which is to keep India clean. We talk about Namami Gange. It's not only for Ganga, but now this scheme is extended to all the rivers across the country to keep them clean. And the initial one where we see a lot of action has already started is Yamuna because of the initiative they have. They themselves will have a good number of plants in next couple of years kicked off to clean river Yamuna. And same will happen with Krishna, Godavari. All these rivers will go through this investment. And you can imagine the investment which is required to keep our rivers clean. And this kind of thing is also internationally. You see the Saudi 2030 vision ensures that there is huge investment into especially desalination. They don't have fresh water and wastewater treatment and wherever possible reuse. Same thing you go with Oman 2040 vision plus Saudi. Now they have a rights for FIFA World Cup in 2034. Obviously, there will be huge pressure on infrastructure, and water will be one of the beneficiaries of that to put additional capacity to handle the FIFA crowd. So, such way we see in this Africa is a gold mine. Yes, they don't have money as the Middle East has the oil money, but there is a huge grants and preferential rate interest. They get lot of funding from various countries as well as from multilaterals. And this is the fund they're using to build infrastructure, which includes water and wastewater. So we see a lot of money is allocated for this sector, and now it is the administrative capability of each country, how fast they can implement this and get the end results to the economy and to the domestic users.
Sir, my final question to you is that can India build a globally competitive water technology ecosystem?
Why you say can? Wabag is an example of it. We are globally number 3. That is, should be giving you enough confidence, Sajid, that Wabag can do it. So many Indian companies can do it. Being an Indian company to be globally number 3, both in desalination and private, where we have our customers, which we are serving those customers. So this is not only a credit to Wabag, but a credit to India. That in India also we can do, like the question you raised, it creates a doubt whether India can do. I would like to erase this doubt. Why we cannot do should be the question. And we are all working towards it. We are well recognized, well respected. Wabag is 100-year-old brand. And in all the markets where we are present, we are not a new entrant, except one or two, because we are present in more than 25 countries. Most of the countries, we have been there for 3 to 4 decades or more. So that also shows that we are a long-term player and we integrate ourselves with the local economy, local people, and we have a local staff. We always use the motto saying, think global, but act local. So we always have a local employment. We hire local engineers, local staff to execute our projects. And this has been very successful for us, Sajid.
Mr. Mittal, it was a pleasure talking to you today and getting an understanding of the water economy, which is emerging as one of the biggest sector going forward. Thank you very much for joining us on Deep Dive.
Thank you, Sajid, for having us.